SQL joins today, and also some subqueries, because many of you have asked me about the subqueries. So I have discussed, I think, for two of you. So I'll discuss the what do you mean by subqueries and everything. And I won't give you any assignment today, but your task will be in this class that whatever I share in the slide, you need to practice it today itself and inform me that whether you have understood or not. Okay, extra assignment, I won't give you any assignment to solve today, but the whatever like the codes are queries are mentioned in the slide, you need to try it out. Okay, that is the task for today. Okay, let me share the slide. I don't know, probably I'm not able to slide show it. Let me check. Just wait. Okay. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. So today we are going to study about the multi-table SQL query command. So we have already studied the single table query commands. Also we have studied about the single row function. So today we are going to study about the multi-table SQL query. So under this multi-table queries, we find that multiple tables, whatever like other queries we dealt till today. Okay, so it was right related to single table only. So multi-table at the word at the as the word itself indicates that we are going to use multiple tables here. That means we are going to take more than two tables, okay, or two tables or more than two tables. So here we'll use this multi-table queries in this using this function. So first using the join operations, and then subqueries, and last is the exits and non-exit operators. Okay, let's now see the join operations. So we have already studied in theory the SQL joins, right? The joins operator you have already studied, join operator. But today we are going to study how we will implement it in SQL. So these SQL joins are used to query data from two or more tables based on a relationship between certain columns in these tables. So if you want, you can query two tables. So since joining we are joining two tables, two or more tables, there should be a common column, that column by which we are joining the tables. So there must be a relation, like I discussed about the primary key and the foreign key relation is there. Okay, suppose we have a department table and we have an employee table. So in department table, department number serves as the primary key, and in the primary table, sorry, in the employee table, your department number serves as the foreign key. So that is how you relate it. So today we'll just check after we go see the examples. So tables in a database are often related to each other with keys. Just now I mentioned, right, primary key and foreign key. Now what is a primary key? We are already aware of it. So a primary key is a column with a unique value for each row, like the student roll number, or we have the employee ID. All these things are primary key, which uniquely identifies that particular row. So each primary key value must be unique within the table. The purpose is to bind data together across tables without repeating all the data in every table. So now let's check. So these are the types of joins. So we have already studied the types of joins in theory when we are studying the join operators, right? So we have inner join. So inner join, what it will do, it will return at least one row if there is a match in both the tables. That is the intersection it will do. If some values are common to both, it will print the result. Okay, and if there is no value, it will give, there is no, like, if both the rows are common, then only it will print the result, otherwise it won't print. Then what about the left join? Left join means that it doesn't matter there is a match in the left table or not, the left the data in the left, that is the rows in the left table, will be printed along with the intersection. And similarly in the right join, what happens, all the rows in the right join will be printed like, doesn't matter if there is an intersection with the left join or not. Similarly full join, both the tables, the rows from both the tables will get printed. Okay, so now here you can see we have two tables. We have the department table and the location table. So in the department table, we have the attributes as department ID, department name, manager ID and location ID. And location table, we have the location ID and city. Now from this table, we can say that the department table, department ID is the primary key. Okay, so department ID is the primary key, and in the table, location ID is the primary key. But you see, this location ID is also present in the department ID. Okay, the department table. So we can say that this is the foreign key here. So we can relate this two table. We can join this two table because there is a common attribute, that is the location ID. Okay, so we can go for joining these two tables. Now we'll first go for inner join. So just now I said if there is at least one match, it will print the output. Okay, so inner join is same as join. So let's check the syntax. So how will you combine these two tables? Okay, see, select department name, then department dot location ID comma city. So it's talking about department name, this department dot location ID. Why we have mentioned this department dot location ID? Because just check, in the location table also LOC ID is there, in the department ID also LOC ID is there. So it is basically ambiguous, right? We don't know which if we only write the LOC ID, if we don't write department and you write LOC only LOC ID, so what happens, the MySQL won't be able to understand that you are talking about which LOC ID. That is why we are mentioning to remove the ambiguity, we are mentioning that we are referring to the department tables LOC ID and city. Okay, and city from departments, that is we need to find out the department name, location ID and city from departments. Inner join, look, this is location. Okay, it's the spelling is wrong. Inner join locations on, so we are using the on operator here, department dot loc id equal to locations dot loc id. We are inner joining, we can find the city respective to the department only once we join these two tables. So I told you, like when we are going for the joins, so there must be common, right? There must be some column which have to be common. So this LOC ID is the common. So we are mentioning here that on department dot LOC ID equal to location dot LOC ID. Okay, this is, let me just mention. Okay, so any now what it will print, it will check the departments and give the location. So it will print 10 department, then it will print finance. So 10 is Shillong, so city it will print as Shillong, common is there. Then 20 accounts, department is sorry 20 location ID is 30, right? So 30 it will print Jowai. Okay, then department ID is 30, then labor it's 20, it will print Tura. And then similarly we have 40 stationery, it will print Shillong. Okay, because the location ID is Shillong. So that is how it's printing. So you get the answer here. Any confusion? Again, there is a mistake here also. Yes, tell me where. Inner join not clear, anyone? We have discussed this thing, just you need to implement it today practically. Yes? Who are not clear? You are inner joining. You are need to, in inner join, we need to find the values, like you are finding the we are joining two tables based on the location ID, because location ID is common in both the tables, department table also and in the location table also. You need to find the department name and department location ID, okay, and then you need to find the city from the location table, okay. So then you go back to the table, you find that department name is 10, location ID is 10. So at location ID 10, we have the city as Shillong. Then accounts department, location ID is 30. So at 30, we had Juai. Department name labor, at location we have, location ID is 20. So at 20, we have Tura. Then stationery, location ID is 10. So location ID 10 is Shillong. So that is how, just wait, someone is waiting in the lobby. So this is how you get the, what happened? This is how you get this answer. Anyone not clear? Yes, please, students, reply.
No, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Next. So this was inner join. So inner join, that means you need to match in both the tables. The value should be common. Okay. Intersection. You can think of intersection maths. Next, moving to the right join. So in the right join, what happens? Whichever table will be on the right hand side. Okay. So irrespective of there is a match or not, all the rows in the right hand side or right table will appear in the final result. So the syntax will be same. You see, instead of inner join, we have written it, we have replaced it with the word right join. So we are selecting the department name, department dot location ID, comma city from departments, right join location on department dot loc ID equal to locations dot loc ID. Now let's take the result. So what was our right hand side table? Right hand side table, if you take, so these are the two tables. So we think this is the left hand side table and this is the right hand side table. So all these values will appear. First, obviously, it will give the, find the match, and then you see 10 finance Shillong, accounts 30 Juai, labor 20 Tura, stationery 10 Shillong. But for Guwahati in inner join, we have seen there was no match, right? For the left hand side, you can see for the left hand side table, no table have location ID in, just wait, someone is waiting. Okay. But no table has location ID as 40. But still, since we are going for right join, so it's printing the output. It is null. The department name is null. Location ID is also null. That is not null or not applicable, whatever you think. And it is city. Guwahati is appearing. Now, any confusion? That is, irrespective of there is a match or not, all the rows in the right hand side will appear in the table, in the right join. Anyone not clear? Students, are you understanding the thing or not? Clear? Let me ask some students. What about Partha? Are you clear about this right join and inner join? Partha, are you clear? Okay, Kaushik, clear. Safir?
Yes, ma'am, clear, ma'am.
Okay, and what about Sankalpita? Yes, Sankalpita, is it clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if most of the people are clear, so let me move to the left join. Okay. So left join also same thing as right join, but whatever rows are present in the left join, that will appear like if even if there is no match in the right hand side right table, the left join rows also will appear. Okay, so instead syntax is same only, just instead of this right join part you need to write it left join, and just see what will be the output. So you see the same will be the output because we know all the department names have there. So no extra table. So it's the result is same as the inner join. Because if we go back to the department table, we see all the values have already appeared. There are no that there is no left out values are there like in the left table, right? So that is why all the things like appeared same as the inner join. Now moving to the full join. So full join, as the name suggests, whatever the things like even if there is a no match in both the tables, the rows in the left join also will appear, and the rows with right join also will appear. So let's check the answer. So this is the same thing. Okay, so all the it is both the full join, right? You can see that the result is same as the left join because we had one extra in the left join, so that is why. But for every case this may not be the case, right? Full join clear. All the rows in the right table will appear and all the rows in the left table will also appear irrespective of the intersection like irrespective of like any matching is there, a matching row is there or not. So this was all about full join. So what you people need to do, you need to create this two table, enter the values, insert these values, same values you can enter, or you can if you want you can try it out your own also, your own values also, and then try to like implement this joins. Okay, run these queries by your own and check whether it works or not. Okay, next moving to the subqueries. Okay, so subqueries, I think in the last class when we went for the max of GPA, we have calculated the max of GPA. So few of you have gave me the confusion that you people have problem regarding because you wanted to print the name also along with the max of GPA, like who was the one who having the maximum GPA, along with him you want to find the name also. In that case you have to write the subquery. That means in the where clause you have to include another query select clause. Okay, let me see, I'll just explain you. So basically a subquery is a select statement that is embedded in another SQL statement. Okay, so that means inside one select statement, inside one SQL statement you will write another select statement. A subquery can be useful when you select rows from a table using a condition that depends on an unknown column value. Now let's check the syntax for it. So here you write, see, select, then you mention the columns which you are taking from table where expression of operator, suppose we are taking which column, like last day we are having like GPA, where GPA, then again you write inside this select query. Okay, so this is the syntax for the subquery. So in the syntax you can use the various comparison operators, single row operators. So single row operators we have studied, right? Max, min, and then multi row operators. So here is one of the example for subquery. So here you see a table is there with the name of the table is employees and it is EID is there, then ename we have a constraint that it cannot be null. There is e-salary, where we have a constant that check must be greater than 100, then date of birth of the employee is there, and we also have a foreign key that is the EID where we have these locations. Okay, like IDs of that it means it has some other, it is referring to some other table. Okay, now we have to find the ID, name, salary of employees whose salary is greater than Ria's salary. Okay, you have to find those like IDs, name and salary from whose salary is greater than Ria. Okay, so if you want to do it in a simple query, it's not be possible. Like salary greater than Ria, it won't be possible. For this purpose, we are including like select EID, normal way, normal query only we are writing. Select EID, E name, E salary from employees where salary is greater than. Then you write another like query. Select e-salary from employees where e-name equal to Ria. But if you want to do it in like where like in the single statement, in the single SQL query, it won't be possible. Okay, it like give invalid value or something error you will get. So you need to use queries. You are using subqueries in this case. So in the last day class also, as I told you, if you wanted to find the maximum salary and the F name, like the first name or the last name or the anything, the concatenation, in that case also you had to use the subqueries in that case. Okay, so here you have to write the subquery. So in this, what this query will do is it will find the e salary. Okay, where e salary of where whose e name, like whose name is Ria. Then what it will do, it will compare it with, then it will find the salary of those people who have higher uh, like salaries than this salary. So it will only deal with this column. Later it will, once you get that how much salary is of Ria, so you get 4,000, so 4,000 is there, so e salary is greater than 4,000, then all the names like 20 Sushil, 6,000, 30 Pooja, 4,500, 40 Amol, 5,320, all it thinks it will be printed. Okay, this is how you go for subqueries. Next, again we have an example, like if we want to display the ID, name, salary of employees whose salary is greater than the average salary. Now you are not taking the specific salary but using the like this function. Okay, average function. So here select EID, E name, E salary from employees where salary greater than, select average of salary from employees. Okay, so this is itself a SQL query. If you find this statement, you get the average of this e salary, and then you can find of the EID's e name and e salary of those people. Is it clear? Subqueries.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So another example is there. So here we have in the last day's class also we discussed about. I just was telling you about the min max function. So here you see how many subqueries have been used. It is also possible, right? So display the ID, name, salary of all employees whose salary is either equal to minimum salary, maximum salary or average salary. So here we are using this function in operator also we are using, and then we are writing several subqueries. So select mean of a salary from employees. This is either it is present in mean or it is max or it is average from employees. So this way also it is possible. So these are some of the guidelines for using the subqueries. So you just see, you must always enclose the subqueries in parentheses. So that means you need to always enclose it in this parentheses, you see, right, the first brackets. Next, place subqueries on the right hand side of the comparison operator. So here you have to place always in the right hand side. So here I haven't used any comparison operator, but just check this one. This is the comparison operator, right? So you have to place on the right hand side of the comparison operator. You cannot add order by clause to a subquery. So we have studied about the order by clause, right? So we cannot add this to the subqueries. Use single row operators with single row subqueries and multi-row operators with multi-row subqueries. So this is the condition. Okay, you can use single row operators with single row subqueries and multi-row. So you cannot like combine. You cannot use single row with multiple row subqueries. Okay. Then is that when writing subqueries, it is important to account for the possibility of null values. If a subquery returns a null value to the main query, the query will not return any rows when using a certain comparison operator in a where clause. So that means if this one gives, it should not give any null value. If what happens if it gives null value, then there will be problem in the entire query. Okay, so this is what is said. So we should take care that it does not like give any null value. So these are some of the guidelines when you create a subquery, you need to think about it. Next is the last one, exist and non-exist one. Okay, so the exist condition is considered to be met if the subquery returns at least one row. It should return at least one. If there, we say, right, if there exists, so means if possible, so it will return one row, right? So what is the syntax for it? Select columns from tables where exist, then the subquery. So just check, and we have example. Select star from location where exit, select star from department where department dot location id equal to location dot loc id. So what happens? It will the select statement first, it will return all records from the location table where there is at least one record in the department table with the same location id. Okay, so just now the table we have seen, so there should be a match. If otherwise, if there is no match, it will return empty. Right? In the department table, location ID should be mentioned. In that case, it will print everything from the location table. That is the location ID and then the location name. Also, one more example you see. So we have seen in the, if we go back and just see, if we run this query, if we just go back. Yeah, this was a table. So what it said, like select star from location table, that is select, we have only two columns only, location ID and city, right? So it will print that one only. If there is a location ID present in the department table. So we see there are in the location ID, this one in location table is 10, 20, 30, 40. But over here, there is no 40. So it is printing only till July. So 10 is Shillong, 20 is Tura, 30 is July. But it's not printing 40 Guwahati because there is no match. So there exists, it turns this one only. Okay, let's. Okay, so that is why this is the answer. Okay. Now, what if there does not exist? So, since there exists is also there, the not exist condition is also present. So, the exist condition can also be combined with the not operator. So, not operator is, it's a logical operator, right? So, the syntax is like this. So, select columns from tables where not exist subquery. So, here is the example. Select star from location where not exists, select star from departments where department dot location id equal to location dot location id. So what it will return is whatever the things are not mentioned in both the tables, right? Then from in the department table it will be printed. So in this case our 40 Guwahati will be printed because the 40 location id is not present in the department table. That is why it is printing 40 Guwahati. Any confusion? Students left?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So have you understood? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was all about I wanted to discuss today, but I want you to try it out practically in the MySQL now and just show me if you are getting the answer or not. Can you try? I'm not giving you any question to solve. Just you need whatever the queries are there. Okay, you create the table department and location. Try to join these tables. Can you work? Yes. The queries are also there. Just practice is there. You need to practice. I'll share the slide. You need to practice. Okay, joining. Okay. Just wait, let me take the attendance. And you people need to show me, everyone. Today's assignment is very easy. Okay, I'm sharing the PPT in your Google Classroom. Okay, just try it out. Everyone, I think 9 of you are here, so every 9 of you have to do this one. Okay, then show me also. Okay, by 4. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.